Choosing to live by yourself, particularly as you enter your golden years, is frequently depicted as a liberating and serene way of life. You have the autonomy to follow your own schedule and whims, free from the interruptions or duties to others. While there's certainly truth in that, there's a less discussed aspect of this lifestyle, realities you don't fully grasp until you're experiencing them firsthand. I've synthesized insights from numerous online communities and personal accounts to share a collective wisdom. This isn't solely my perspective, but a broader view from those who have navigated this path, and it's not entirely negative, it's simply authentic. Let's delve into the elements of solo living in later life that often go unmentioned, and explore how you can embrace this chapter to its fullest. Third, managing household upkeep can become a formidable task. A reality that gets progressively harder with age and is seldom discussed is the physical demand of home maintenance. As our bodies age, our energy reserves naturally shift. Chores that were once routine, like clearing gutters, landscaping the yard, or even deep cleaning the house, can feel utterly draining. I've seen countless stories from seniors who admit to letting certain tasks go undone simply because they lack the physical stamina or the motivation to handle them alone. A woman in her late 60s shared that she maintained a running list of home repairs that just kept growing because the thought of tackling them solo was too overwhelming. If you find yourself in this situation, seeking assistance is a sign of strength, not weakness. In the United States, programs like the Federal Weatherization Assistance Program or nonprofits like Rebuilding Together offer help to eligible seniors with necessary home repairs to ensure safety and efficiency. You might hire a local handyman for more strenuous jobs, or arrange for family members to help periodically. And if your financial situation permits, downsizing to a smaller home or condo can be a liberating choice. A more compact living space translates to less maintenance and fewer worries, freeing up your time for more enjoyable pursuits. Fourth, your daily schedule will likely become a cherished anchor, and that is perfectly healthy. A prominent theme across many personal narratives is the profound importance of daily routines when living alone. Without a partner or roommate to share responsibilities or inspire spontaneous activities, your personal schedule provides a vital sense of stability. Whether it's that first cup of coffee on the patio, a brisk afternoon walk through the park, or settling in with a favorite show on PBS in the evening, these rituals provide a comforting structure. A woman in her 70s from Vermont described how she begins each day by playing classical music while preparing her breakfast, filling the quiet house with a calm energy. Another man detailed his deep satisfaction in tending to his container garden on his balcony each evening. He explained that this activity was less about horticulture and more about the sense of purpose and rhythm it brought to his day. There is a quiet beauty in this. Never let anyone suggest that adhering to a structured routine is a negative trait. These small, consistent moments are what makes solo living uniquely yours. They are your personal ceremonies, and they grant you a powerful sense of control over your own life. Fifth, preparing meals for one can be a unique challenge, but also deeply gratifying. Cooking for yourself is one of those surprisingly complex adjustments when you're older and living alone. The need for large, elaborate meals disappears, and it can often feel like an excessive amount of work to prepare a complete dish for a single person. I've seen countless anecdotes from people who find themselves relying on microwave dinners or takeout for convenience. However, as one contributor to a Healthy Aging forum noted, learning to embrace cooking for one can completely shift your mindset. The act transforms from a chore into an expression of self-care. Consider techniques like batch cooking on a Sunday to prepare meals for the week, or focus on recipes that are easily portioned and frozen. Some have discovered a new passion by experimenting with global cuisines, approaching it as an engaging hobby. You may find that the act of nourishing yourself becomes a small daily affirmation that you are worthy of the time and effort. Furthermore, it remains a significantly healthier and more economically sound choice in the long term. Sixth, the pervasive silence can be both a profound gift and a heavy burden. The quality of silence is something that many people don't anticipate will affect them so intensely when they begin living alone, particularly if they've come from a noisy family home or a demanding career. The sheer quietness of a house can feel immense, especially during the long evenings, While some people flourish in this tranquility, for others, it can be deeply unsettling. An older woman from Pennsylvania shared that she began keeping the radio on as background noise during her daily tasks, just to have a human voice in the air. Another gentleman mentioned his reliance on podcasts and audiobooks during the day to create a sense of conversation. Whether it's music, talk radio, or the television, finding ways to modulate the silence can make a significant difference. Conversely, this quiet can be a genuine luxury, a rare opportunity for those who have spent decades surrounded by constant activity. It provides the space for deep thought, reflection, and personal rejuvenation. 7th, you must be deliberate about maintaining physical activity. Living alone, particularly as you age, can lead to a more sedentary existence. Without a partner or housemate to motivate a walk or join in an activity, it's remarkably easy to slip out of the habit of moving. Numerous people on online health forums have admitted that after some time living by themselves, they noticed a marked decline in their physical fitness. One man from Colorado shared how his daily hikes became less frequent until they stopped altogether. He wrote, "I didn't grasp how much my activity level had dropped until my joints started complaining." Staying physically active demands greater intentionality when you are your own motivator. A powerful strategy is to weave physical activity into your daily routine, regardless of how minor it seems. This could involve setting a modest daily step count, performing gentle stretches each morning, or enrolling in a local Silver Sneakers fitness class. These small, consistent efforts yield substantial benefits for your overall well-being. I read about one woman who adopted a dog for this very reason. The dog's need for daily walks ensured she stayed active. Physical activity isn't confined to a gym. It can be gardening, dancing in your kitchen, or choosing stairs over the elevator. Keeping your body active not only preserves physical health but also elevates your mood and sharpens your mind. 8th, your perception of time might warp in unforeseen ways. Another phenomenon that is rarely discussed is how living alone can alter your relationship with the passage of time. Without the external cues provided by another person's schedule, you might find yourself losing track of the day of the week, or even the month. Several people online have shared that time seems to either drag on interminably or vanish in a blur. You know, a man once commented on a forum that after he retired and his wife passed away, he experienced days where he was genuinely unsure if it was Tuesday or Wednesday. This happens because, well, the familiar structures, a spouse's work schedule, children's school events, are no longer there to anchor the calendar. But the positive side is that you now have the authority to create your own rhythm. Some folks find that a loose schedule is actually really beneficial. For example, you could designate specific days for certain errands, like Mondays for groceries, Thursdays for cleaning, and so on. Others find it useful to engage in hobbies that anchor their week, such as a Tuesday morning book club, afternoon gardening sessions, or maybe a special Sunday dinner tradition. It's valuable to maintain an awareness of time, but it's also a chance to learn to appreciate its fluid nature. Living alone grants you the unique opportunity to design your days entirely around what suits you. And honestly, that is a true gift. 9th, the process of decluttering becomes, well, both simpler and more complex. When you live by yourself, the task of sorting through your possessions acquires a new level of significance. On one hand, there's no one else to consult or debate with over what to keep or discard, which can really streamline the process. But on the other hand, every object in your home is imbued with personal history. Each photograph, book, and piece of furniture is a vessel for memory, and the act of letting go can feel intensely personal and emotionally charged. I recall a post from an older woman who had lived alone for over a decade. She described her struggle with keeping items purely for their sentimental value, even when she knew they served no practical purpose. She wrote, "It's only me here, so what's the harm in keeping these memories?" But then she added, "But do I want to burden my children with sorting all of this someday?" Many in online senior communities highlight the emotional weight of decluttering alone. Objects take on a profound meaning, and parting with them can feel like closing a chapter of your life. Yet, there is also immense freedom in simplification. A man in his late 60s, shared his journey of downsizing his collections to make life more manageable for himself and his family. He said the process brought him profound peace of mind. Decluttering when you're older and alone isn't about embracing stark minimalism. It's about curating a living space that reflects who you are today, not just who you were. It's perfectly fine to hold on to things that bring you genuine joy, but releasing what no longer serves you can be an act of liberation. Start small, focus on one drawer or closet at a time, and give yourself the grace to process the emotions that arise. Ultimately, this is your sanctuary, and you have the power to shape it. 10th, social invitations may become less frequent, but you gain the power to curate your own enjoyment. A surprising aspect of aging alone is the gradual decline in social invitations. This isn't necessarily because people have forgotten you, but as friends and family enter new life phases, consumed by their own families, careers, or relocating, you may find yourself on the periphery of group plans. A number of people in forums have expressed a sense of feeling left out as gatherings happened without them. It can be as simple as inviting a neighbor for coffee, starting a small book club, or hosting a potluck dinner. The great advantage is that when you are the organizer, you get to tailor the event to your own interests. A man in his 60s from Florida described starting a weekly walking group in his neighborhood. Every Sunday, a small group would meet to explore local parks and trails. This single initiative kept him connected, active, and engaged in something he genuinely loved. Living alone gives you the freedom to be the architect of your social life, so embrace that power. If you enjoy crafts, host a monthly DIY project night. If you're a fan of classic films, plan a weekly movie screening. Be the one who extends the invitation, and you will likely find that others are eager to join. 11th, it's easy to let self-care slide, but it becomes more vital than ever. When you live alone, there's no one to gently remind you that you've been in the same sweatpants for 3 days, or that you've skipped a proper meal. It becomes dangerously easy to fall into a pattern of neglecting your own well-being. Many people on forums for seniors confess that living alone can foster an attitude of, "Who am I even doing this for?" The crucial answer is, you are doing it for yourself. One man shared that after several years of living alone, he had a wake-up call when he realized how many small acts of self-care he had abandoned, skipping meals, neglecting regular showers, and spending entire days on the sofa. He said, "I had to consciously remind myself that I am just as deserving of care and attention as anyone else." Self-care extends beyond basic hygiene and nutrition. It encompasses your mental and emotional health as well. Staying on top of medical appointments, ensuring you get adequate sleep, and making time for activities that bring you joy are all critical components of self-care when you're on your own. One woman detailed her evening ritual of lighting scented candles, applying a face mask, and reading a novel. It's a small, personal ceremony, but it's an act of self-nurturing she performs just for herself. Make self-care a non-negotiable priority, even when no one is there to witness it. Get dressed in the morning, even if you have no plans to leave the house. Prepare meals that you truly enjoy and pamper yourself in ways that make you feel valued and uplifted. You may be living alone, but you still deserve the highest standard of care, and you are the one best positioned to provide it. Living solo as an older adult presents its own unique set of challenges, but it also offers a pathway to a deeply rewarding and authentic life. You possess the invaluable freedom to construct a life that is truly your own, and that is a precious opportunity. However, always remember that it is a sign of strength to ask for help, to plan for unforeseen circumstances, and to rely on your community when you need to. You have navigated a long and full life to reach this point, and there is still a great deal of joy and discovery ahead. Fill your life with what brings you happiness, whether that's a cherished pet, a thriving garden, or a library of your favorite books. And on the days that feel difficult, know that you are not entirely alone. You are part of a vast community of individuals who are also navigating this journey, finding their own way through it, just like you. If you found these insights helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel so you don't miss our future content. Thank you for watching.